Hello. In this video, I will demonstrate QML syntax fundamentals, as well as the use of basic components in QML. I will begin by creating a new Qt Quick application in Qt Creator. The build system I'm using in this video is CMake. Here I have a default Qt Quick application. A QML application will consist of at least a main.qml, a main.cpp, and a CMake list.txt file. The main.qml contains QML code used to describe the user interface of the application. QML is a JavaScript-based programming language which can be used to write basic logic, but is primarily intended for describing GUI elements. The main.cpp contains some C++ code used to load the QML into the application engine and start the event loop. And the CMake list.txt file contains information about what modules or resources will be added to the project and how that project is built. Let's look at the main.qml file, as most of our editing in this example will be done in this file. By default, the Qt Quick module will be imported. QML code consists of components, which represent different types of objects. Our default application contains a window component with some properties set. The window component creates a new top-level window for a Qt Quick scene and automatically sets up the window for use with Qt Quick graphical types. I'll run the program and you can see an empty window is displayed with the size according to the properties that have been set. We're now ready to add some components to our QML file. Qt Quick contains many component types without needing to import other modules. A QML module will provide the user with a collection of QML components and JavaScript resources to be imported and used when needed and easily removed when not. For example, importing Qt Quick controls will allow you to use Qt Quick controls components. In this example, we will stick to the default Qt Quick module. I will now demonstrate some examples of components within Qt Quick. Item is a non-visual base type for all visual items in Qt Quick. Therefore, all visual items will inherit from the item type and inherit its properties. Properties are a set of attributes that define a QML object. Attributes that are common across all visual items, such as height, width, X or Y position, are defined at the item level. Many component types inherit from item, and then have their own properties on top of those which were inherited from item. In this example, I will set properties with an item to give it an ID, height and width, and center it within the window object. Another common component is rectangle, which is a basic shape used to create other abstract shapes. To demonstrate, I will create a rectangle in the top half of the item object. The properties which I am defining here come from the item type, since rectangle inherits from it, except for the color property, which is a rectangle property. When I run the program, you will see a basic rectangle inside of the item object. We can also add a text component, which allows us to create freestanding text within the GUI. I will add a simple line of text within the rectangle. Now I'll run the program and there will be some centered text within the rectangle object. Some other useful components similar to text are text edit and text input, which allow for editable text to exist in the GUI. The difference between those two is that text edit is used for editing multiple lines, and text input is a single line of editable text. I'll now change the text object to a text input object. You can see now this line of text is editable. The next component type I will demonstrate is image, The image type loads an image and displays it to the GUI. The source of the image is specified by a URL using the source property. Images can be supplied in any of the standard image formats supported by Qt, including bitmap formats such as PNG and JPEG, and vector graphic formats such as SVG. If the width and height properties are not specified, the image automatically uses the size of the loaded image. By default, specifying the width and height of an image causes the image to be scaled to that size. I will now add an image object to the bottom half of item. We recommend loading images from a resource file. In our example, we will load a picture of a cat from a resource file which has been generated and contains the image. In order to generate this resource file, we will need to add the location of our image to our cmakelist.txt file. I will now switch to cmakelist.txt to demonstrate this. In our cmakelist.txt file, we will add the location of our image using the resources macro within Qt add QML module. With this, CMake will generate a resource file from which we can load the image. Now that the image component has been properly added and we have modified cmakelist.txt to generate our resource file, we can run the program and see the image in the bottom half of item. I'll now head back to main.qml. An important fundamental concept of QML to know is that properties can have bindings. Property bindings are a core feature of QML used to set relationships between different object properties. When a property's dependencies change in value, the property is automatically and dynamically updated according to the specified relationship. Bindings can have basic logic like the ternary operator. I will put in a condition that says, if the length of the text within our text object is greater than 10, the color of the rectangle will be red. Otherwise, it will be blue. I'll now run the program. You can see here when I delete some text, the color of the rectangle will change from red to blue. Another important concept is how to handle signals. Whenever a property of a component changes, a signal is emitted. It is possible to set a connection to a signal handler via the connections type or by using an onPropertyNameChanged function. To demonstrate this, I will modify the onTextChanged function for the text input object to display a message to the console when a signal is emitted due to the text property changing. I'll now run the program again, and you'll see whenever a character is deleted from or added to the text, a message will appear in the console. You can see in the bottom of the screen, a message is displaying in the console. Another Qt component is mouse area. Mouse area allows a clickable area within the GUI and grants access to signals associated with mouse interactions. I will create a mouse area that fills the space of the image, which will make the entire image clickable. There are various ways for a user to interact with objects in the GUI. One example is a mouse click. When the mouse is clicked in the mouse area, a signal called clicked will be emitted. For clicked to have a corresponding action, the signal handler associated with that signal will need to be modified. I will modify the onClicked signal handler to display some text to the console whenever mouse area is clicked. I'll run the program, and you can see in the console, when I click the image, some text is displayed in the console. Lastly, I will go over an example of a keyboard interaction. For this example, we will use the keys QML type, which provides key handling to items. We will add some functionality to our text input item so that when we click the escape key, the item will no longer be in the focus of the GUI and the text will no longer be highlighted for editing. To do this, I will add the following code. When a key is pressed or released, a key event is generated and delivered to the focused Qt Quick item. When we highlight the text input item, that item enters the focus. With the text input item in focus, the onEscape pressed handler can be executed when the escape key is pressed, which will remove the item from the focus. Here I will modify some text and then click Escape, which will remove the text item from focus. There are other types of basic object interactions, such as handlers and touch interactions, which all follow the same idea of modifying the appropriate signal handler for the appropriate component type. For more information about basic object interactions, please see the documentation in the description of this video. If you ran into any problems throughout this tutorial, please feel free to create a support ticket through your Qt account and we will be sure to help resolve your issue. Thank you.